Welcome to the channel. Today what I would like to talk about is how to look at the world as a mirror. You will come to find through your journey that although we might start with just ourselves and figuring ourselves out in this world of singularity, soon we're going to start to meet others who are not in your family, and they might be others. This is the duality aspect of life. There's you and then there's others. There's us and them. There's black and white. There's yin and yang. There's the day and the night. But you'll see that the day and the night is all the same. It's the same place. It's the same thing. Because at the end of the day, we are all one. And when you learn how to transcend duality, in the same way that you create when you do art, first thing that you can do on a piece of paper is a dot. That's the simplest thing you can do, a dot. And then when you have two dots, you can draw a line between them, dot, line. So you have one dimension and two dots. And when you make a third dot, you have the first shape, you have two dimensions and three dots. Right? And so that third dot is transcending this duality. And it becomes a different realm. Right? This would be the 2D. And then when you flip that on its side, you're going to see that there's only one dimension that way, but there's length and there's height. And then when you add a fourth perspective, a fourth dot, that is the first form, which is a triangular prism, also known as a tetrahedron. And that tetrahedron that faces up this way is considered masculine. And the one that is facing downward is considered feminine. And so you'll notice that this tetrahedron has 4 points to it, 4 dots, 3 dimensions. And you'll hear a lot that we are in the 3rd dimension. Right? So we have height, width, and depth. All right, so we have this tetrahedron. Now, this tetrahedron, these 4 points, you're going to also come to realize that there's 4 main archetypes in the masculine. Right? There's the warrior, king, magician, lover. There's a lot of books on this. There's a lot of men's groups that use these 4 main archetypes. And there's way more archetypes as well, but you're going to hear these ones a lot. And so I just think this is an interesting concept, right? So now we have 4 points, or maybe 4 days of creation, however you want to look at this. And so once we have the first form, then we can add a new point or dimension, and that is light, right? Which will cast shadow on this form. And so you have 2 dimensions. When you add light, it's another dualistic thing, but you have light and shadow that work together, right? So there was 4 points, that's 5, and that's 6. And you have a day of rest, right? That's basically all of creation. And in fact, if you just use those 6 things, you can draw and sketch and create and paint anything you can imagine. And so why do I bring this up? Because this world can be confusing, right? And so a simple way to simplify this down is to come back to duality. This black and white, this extreme contrast, right? Because what a lot of people will want to do is they won't want to look at the darker part of themselves. And they want to be maybe the light, or maybe they want to identify with the dark and they don't like the light. Either way, it's the same. It's just your direction. And in fact, that's the difference between polarity and duality. Duality is your perspective. Polarity is a full circle loop, right? There's the positive and the negative, right? And the positive goes to the negative. There's 2 poles on the earth, right? And the positive goes to the negative, and so there's this magnetic cycle that's happening. Duality is based on perspective. polarity is based on a whole, but they're the same concept, really. It's just the individual's perspective is the duality. So whatever is good or bad is based on where the individual is sitting and their viewpoint. For me, it would be my right is good, my left is bad. If someone is sitting across from me and the same thing that was good to them, they would be like, well, my left is good and my right is bad. And so we might differ and argue, but this is just a mirror. This is just a reflection. And that's what the world is we are all actually one. And the other people that are in your life are mirrors to you, and they're mirroring what's happening on the inside. And so we have to remember that we cannot change the reflection by attempting to interact and change the mirror. Right? The only way to change the appearance, the outer world, is by making inner changes. And so that's why I'm bringing up this duality, this black and this white. And the natives of this land here, they have these sacred clowns. The Ojibwa people, the Anishinaabe, they call them Wendigokan. And the Lakotas call them the Heyoka. And they dress in black and white. And to be a Wendigokan means backwards walker. He who walks backwards. And so why would he be walking backwards? Well, the reason he does that is to show you what not to do. That way there's someone showing you what to do, right? Maybe the people very close to you care about you or trying to tell you what to do. And they're not doing it to control you. They're just doing it so you have positive outcomes. Those are the people that care about you. And then there's others, tricksters, jokers, sacred clowns that come in and they poke you and they make fun of you. They're not doing it to hurt you, but they're doing it to show you another perspective. That these words can't actually hurt you or control you, and that you're in control. And so they're just doing the opposite to show you this extreme so you can find the middle way and find your path. And if it weren't for these extremes, the boundary wouldn't be clear. It would be muddy, it'd be messy, it'd be grayscale. Right? And then you wouldn't know when you're on or on what side of the line you were on. Right? If it was all grayscale, you wouldn't know when you cross over on the line and you're not on the right side. And by the right side, I mean the side that you want to be on. Right? And so when you follow your inner compass, know where you want to go. And wherever you choose to go, there's going to be things that are in alignment with that, and there's going to be things that are out of alignment. And it can be that simple, and that's the point of duality, is to make it simple for you. Now, it's not for you to tell other people what's right and wrong. That's their journey. And if they're asking you for help, feel free to speak your truth and help them. But as soon as they start to push back on you, realize that it is not you, it's not your problem. And if they're asking you for help and they don't want to hear it, then the best thing to do is to continue on your own path. So this black and white, this dance of duality, it's beautiful, and it's here to show you the way forward in your own path. And so I wanted to bring this up as a way of helping you navigate this. And so you'll see in your time, you'll see people very angry, yelling at others to change, right? You'll see this in politics. You'll see people who aren't doing their own work. They're not following their own dream. They are asking a system to take care of them. They're not willing to take care of themselves. So it's other people's problem. They're other people's problem. And that is not the way. That's not the way to sovereignty, to enlightenment, to taking care of yourself, to the highest potential that you have. No one's going to care more about your dreams than you, my son. And so you must take the next actionable steps. And so the first step might be being really clear on what it is that you want and unlearning the programs and the things that other people have told you over time. And that might not feel like progress, but that is progress. This body, you have to take care of it. You have to feed it appropriately. It needs oxygen. It needs water. It needs rest. And it needs food. And that food has to be good quality. And so does that water, and so does that rest, and so does that oxygen. Right? We have to take care of this. You can read every text that is from any form of religion, and it's going to tell you that this is the temple of God, because God is within you. And because he is within you, you can speak with him. But you have to listen. You have to quiet and humble yourself and listen. And when this world, however this inner world is, the outer world is going to be a projection of that. And if you fight that, you're really fighting yourself. But if you can observe it and listen and look for the synchronicities and look for the messages that you know are for you, and you take those in and you make the changes, your outer world will change regardless of what other people are going through. And you can realize that you can stand next to a brother who is in a very different place, even though you guys are in the same place in the same time. He's in a different world than the one that you're in. And you can't help him. And you can't do the work for him. And you can't make him pick up the shovel, or pick up the hammer. You can only pick up yours and work diligently in the direction of your path. But you have to be clear on what that is, and you have to set a goal. And then this duality will emerge. And if you can love it and work with it, you will transcend it. And there will be a third point, and you'll be up here higher on the eagle road, and you'll be able to look down on this opposites, this polar opposites, this duality. You will look down on it from above, and you'll find your place. You'll look down on it with love, and that's why part of the 7 teachings, the eagle, his teaching is love, because he flies above and gives us this perspective from on high. And so just like the eagle, you need to transcend this landscape so that you can see the forest and the way and the lay of the land. But you won't be able to do that by looking through the trees. You won't be able to see the forest through the trees. You'll have to transcend this. And that will show you the path. And that's done by going in and feeling and being clear on where you want to go. And then understanding that whatever you choose, there's going to be an aligned version of what that is, actionable, and there's going to be actions that take you further away from that goal. And this one's good and this one's bad. This one's right and this one's wrong. And the clearer you can make that, the better. But the more contrast there is as you're navigating it. And that's okay. And that's why it's like that. And that's why those sacred clowns dress in black and white and walk backwards. Because they're here to help you. So give them thanks, honor them. Say thank you for showing me how I don't want to be, so that I know better. And in the moments, I can choose the right way. I love you.